Our Parasha is Parashat vayetze. Parashat vayetze, as you can hear from the name, Yaakov leaves Eretz Israel. And actually, the story of Yaakov is fascinating. Yaakov is leaving his parents and his brother, that the relationship was never worse than now, and he runs away. And our Parasha basically starts with Yaakov leaving, and it ends with Yaakov coming back. When Yaakov leaves Eretz Israel, he has a vision. He has a vision of a Kadosh Baruch Hu and revealing to him during the dream. And when he comes back, it's totally different. The Kadosh Baruch Hu is not revealing himself. Actually, Yaakov, the Torah says, he built a matzevah. He's building a matzevah. He's building a galed, a symbol, a sign to a piece that he did together with Lavan. I want to speak about Yaakov between these two corners. To be honest, if we want to read, if you read carefully the stories of the Chumash, Yaakov's life is terrible. He starts by leaving the land, then he goes and he meets a beautiful girl. They fall in love. But then the father of the girl tricks him, and he marries her sister. He figures out only balayla achar kach, the night afterwards. Not only that, to be capable to marry his beloved wife, the beloved girl that he actually likes, he needs to work another 7 years, more than the first 7 years that he worked before. Then he works for his father-in-law again, and the father tricks him again and again and again. He gets to the decision to run away. What happens? His beloved wife is stealing from his father's etrafim, the avodah zarah, and he needs now to deal with his father-in-law. He deals with his father-in-law. He makes an agreement that he needs also to sacrifice a little bit for this agreement. Not so good, basically. And the question is why? Yaakov is considered to be b'chira avot. Yaakov is considered to be the person that all of the children, each one mitato shlema, his bed is whole. Each of his children is basically one of the pillars of Am Yisrael. Is one of the shvatim. And why Yaakov, that is basically the head of the nation, suffers so much? I want to claim that what happened to Yaakov during the years of Galut is not only a symbol, is basically the clear difference between our perspective towards life and between, we can say, the Christian or the Western perspective towards life. And by saying that, I want to use first of all the first Rashi of the parasha. Vayetze Yaakov be'er Sheva ve'elech Haran. Now Rashi in his commentary says, Vayetze lo haya tzarich lichtov ela vayelech Yaakov Harana. Should have written not Vayetze, but Vayelech, because Yaakov walked. V'lama izkir yetziato, and why he mentioned him Yetzia from the term of exit? Ela magi to teach us sheitziat tzaddik min hamakom osa roshem. When a tzaddik leaves a place, it makes what? It makes a roshem, it makes a difference. Shebizman she'atzadik ba'ir hu hoda, hu ziva, hu adara. When the tzaddik is in his town, he's basically the identity of the city. Yatsa misham, but when he left, pana hoda, pana ziva, pana adara. When he left, the identity is the light. The spirituality of the city leaves also. What we have over here is basically the influence of a tzaddik on the city. What it means that tzaddik has influence on the city. For someone to have influence on the city, someone to be considered tzaddik, it needs to be what? He needs to be connected to reality. He needs to be connected to the place. A tzaddik, according to that, is someone that has a connection from the first person of the city till the last one. Everyone feels the influence of a tzaddik. If a tzaddik has no influence, and no one actually feels when he leaves, no one understands that something bad happened over here, so maybe he's not a tzaddik. When you're connected to life are never easy. There's always a better thing. There's always crises. There's always a crisis over here. There's always something that will be hard, that will be difficult. That's the meaning of life. That's part of life. That's the main core of life. But that's also the meaning to be a tzaddik. To be part of reality, to be part of reality doesn't matter if there's a crisis or not, because you are part of it. You have influence on the world. So it's a different perspective. In the beginning of Sefer HaKuzari, the king admits that the reason that he didn't call the Jew to talk with him first and try to figure out what is the fundamentals of the Jewish religion is because he looked at the Jews and he said, compared to the Christians, compared to the Muslims, they are so low-leveled. And it's more than that. If you learn a little bit if you learn a little bit into Western society, you will see that the more successful as the human being is, so therefore he is better. And that's also, in some religions, that's also even a religious concept. If you are successful, it means that God actually chose you. But what is the main part? What is the main criteria of being rich? The main criteria of being rich is someone. A lot of times, when we imagine a rich person, we imagine a huge house or a big and tall building, and the rich person has a huge fence. And he has a huge wall, and he has guards, or he lives in the 50th floor of a skyscraper. He's isolated from the world. He's not connected to life. He has a beautiful life. He has a wonderful life. But he lives sheltered in his own cocoon, in his own area, in his own small peace-minded apartment. But that's not the world. That's not reality. A tzaddik is someone that lives inside life, with the crisis of life. He can't buy his way out from the problems. He needs to challenge the problems. But when he does challenge the problems, he makes roshim. He makes a sound. Yaakov's life were complicated, were not easy. At the beginning, Yaakov sees a sulam, a ladder, and the angels are going up and down because that's the way of life. Sometimes they're going up and sometimes they're going down. And then in the Parashat, Yaakov understands that it's not only on the angels going up and down, it's being part of reality, is getting an agreement, is creating a matzeva. Hagal hazeh vet hamatzeva azot. He creates a gal and matzeva between him and Lavan. He learns how to live in reality, how to be part of the world, how to be part of society. A lot of times we imagine Torah as something that is isolated, something that is not connected, something that needs a cocoon to survive. But that's exactly the opposite. The message is of Yaakov Avinu, and the Torah sends us through Yaakov Avinu, is that Torah is part of life. The Torah has what to say on every incident, even, and maybe especially in incidents that are not easy. Some way life is not easy. But the question is not if the life is easy or not, The question is, what the tzaddik has to say on life. How the tzaddik puts his own identity and puts his own meaning and changes reality to his perspective. Shabbat Shalom.